first, Peter Drury.
In the names of Lofthouse and Matthews, with pride in the history of their clubs and in glorious sunshine, the people of Bolton and Stoke convene for one grand cup day and compete for involvement on a still grander day next month. Bolton's team has markedly more Wembley experience than Stoke's, particularly with Paul Robinson restored at left back. Owen Coyle's two other major selectorial calls are at centre-half, where alongside Gary Cahill, Zat Knight holds off the challenge of David Wheater, and at centre-forward, where in place of the cup-tied Daniel Sturridge, Ivan Klasnic plays. In the Premier League at the Reebok in October, Klasnic scored the last-minute winner against Stoke and was then sent off. But for the season-ending injury sustained by poor Danny Higginbottom, Stoke would almost certainly have gone with the 11 which beat West Ham in the quarter-final. But his misfortune is Andy Wilkinson's lucky break, and it's the outfield 10 which started at Spurs last weekend, plus regular cup keeper Thomas Sorensen, who has conceded just 2 goals in 5 FA Cup ties so far this season. No referee better qualified for the special occasion than Howard Webb. So, trotters or potters, either way it's going to be a fresh cup final this year. Manchester City for the first time in 30 years, and Bolton for the first time in 53, or Stoke for the first time ever. Jim Beglin has won and lost an FA Cup semi-final. Jim, it's a twitchy day for all, is it not?
Well, it will be twitchy, and you're right. I think nerves could certainly play a part today, but I think both sides will feel they'll never get a better opportunity of reaching an FA Cup final. I think it's going to be highly competitive, very hard fought, and a semi-final where the aerial battle could easily prove key.
Now by Wilson on Lee. The Icelander Steinsson from out of the shade and into the sunshine. Set back by Cahill, driven by Petrov against Pennant, and behind for a Bolton corner.
You know, a smaller man or somebody quicker in the turn, maybe a striker, and might have had a go then, but Cahill didn't fancy it.
Petrov's outswinger, Steinsson was amongst those competing for it with Zat Knight, and Bolton will get another go.
Well, as we expected as well, we're not being let down. Big physical battle in there.
Not going on before the ball arrives from Petrov. Up in the air by Whelan. Davis was appealing, whilst Cahill was shooting instinctively and fiercely over on the half volley.
Well, I think it's a very good try for him, but I think Robert Huth's playing a dangerous game. Great strike from Cahill, but on the half volley always difficult to get over them. But look at Huth. He's grabbing Davis in the neck, on the chin at that stage, and he's got to be very careful doing that, Robert Huth. Wasn't the best clearance from him either, and that was a good try.
Fourth official, Stuart Atwell, is going to be a live part of this occasion, with two animated managers in Tony Pulis and Owen Coyle, and the near certainty of a very physical game. Almanda was caught by Robert Hood.
Well, maybe it's been a nervy start from Robert Huth, because Kevin Davis won the first ball that came into the box, and he was certainly late then on Elmander.
Not a good challenge, was it?
No.
In by Petrov. Not as far as Muamba, who's protected it well. Elmander's drive, swallowed up by Sorensen.
Well, Muamba could have hit it, you know, chose to go for the pass, and it's always at the goalkeeper. It's right down the middle of the goal.
Hit on the twisting volley by Kenwyne Jones after Zat Knight had misjudged his jump.
Well, Knight did well on the earlier couple, but that wasn't clever by him at all. And he could have even taken an extra touch if he wanted Ken Wynne-Jones. And just looking back on that incident before, I mean, is that worthy of a penalty, the way Huth had hold of Kevin Davis? It's a shout.
Handling issue as well in there, isn't there?
He had two on him at one stage, both around his neck.
Forward by Wilkinson. Knight got his job done more cleanly this time. Wilkinson's throw, Robinson's header up into the air. This is Pennant. Walters attempting to fly it in. Almanda couldn't take, and Etherington has hit a blinder for Stoke at Wembley. Boy, he caught that well. Banks himself wouldn't have kept that out, and the Stoke president was amongst those quickest to his feet to greet a goal in the history of his famous club, struck with certainty by Matthew Etherington.
Listen, it was a poor ball towards Johan Elmander. There was nothing he could do but stick his leg out, and unfortunately for him, it's just gone straight into the path of Etherington. And he didn't hold back. He's taken it early. I think he's caught Jääskeläinen by surprise. Fantastic finish.
First voluble chorus of Delilah of the afternoon. They do know how to make a din, those Stoke fans. It's a larger pitch at Wembley than at the Britannia Stadium. Question asked of Rory Delap, can he still reach? Here's your answer. He's reached a penalty spot. Away by Almanda. Hoisted back in by Wilkinson. Out by Cahill, and hit on the volley by Huth, and Stoke have a 2-0 lead with barely quarter of an hour played. Robert Huth, fourth round winner at Wolves, quarter-final goal against West Ham, Wembley semi-final goal now, which has Stoke staring at potentially their first ever FA Cup final.
I just think Jääskeläinen couldn't do anything about the first. I think he could have done a little better there. I think he could have reacted quicker. I mean, it's struck well enough by Huth. He does get a hand to it, but not strongly enough. And I don't think he can believe his luck, Tony Pulis. 2-0.
Talk outside the main man at Bolton. Also wincing at the way the day has begun. First half hour hasn't been his, the next hour needs to be. Petrov caught on it by Pennant. He's had a few near misses in the cup, Jermaine Pennant, seeking to make up for them this year, and he's rolled it through for Ken Wynne-Jones. 3-0 Stoke. They're nearly there already. Half an hour in. Potty Potters. Ken Wynne-Jones.
Owen Coyle must be absolutely stunned because his players look to be falling apart here. There's a big inquest going on at the moment. They're all arguing with one another. And once he robbed Martin Petrov of possession, Jermaine Pennant just went unchallenged. And I think that shot of Owen Coyle says it all. Here it is. Now, it's a brilliant run from here, but nobody actually goes to him. He's able to cut inside Paul Robinson, just keep going. Now, does it get a little deflection on its way through? I think it does, and I think it actually helps Ken Wynne-Jones. But the important thing for him was to stay onside as Pennant made the pass, and it fell to his feet beautifully. And doesn't he take it well from there? What a position now.
Owen Coyle almost blinking back the tears. Certainly blinking back the sheer incredulity that one of his teams could find themselves in this sort of situation. Huth away from Klasnic. Came to Petrov. In by Petrov. Sorensen has claimed, lost and claimed again. We're beyond the promised extra minute. Has ever a team occupied such a comfort zone in an FA Cup semi-final at half-time as Stoke City now do? On this traditionally most nervous of days, they luxuriate in a 3-goal lead given them by Etherington, Huth and Jones, and it would take a miracle now to keep them from coming back here for the final next month. At half-time in the semi-final, it's Bolton 0, Stoke 3. Welcome back to Wembley, the second semi-final in the E.ON sponsored FA Cup of 2010-11. Bolton Wanderers have to change it, and Bolton Wanderers have changed it with 2 half-time substitutions. Matty Taylor and Mark Davis, who hasn't played since the quarter-final because of an ankle injury, are on in place of Klasnic and Petrov. And those changes cause additional reshuffles, Jim Beglin.
Yeah, well, Matt Taylor will play from the left side. Mark Davis is slotted into midfield where Elmander had been playing, and now that Klasnic has gone, Elmander will join Davis up front. Well, listen, changes or not, Peter, I mean, they've got to impose themselves on the game. They've got to have some sort of impact. You know, whether they manage an amazing comeback or not, they have to try and get the ball down and play their style of football. It hasn't happened yet.
Owen Coyle is not one given to surrender. Over the way to Mark Davis. At least showed some purpose and some willingness to penetrate.
Well, that's a bit more like it. That was a bit more spirited from Mark Davis, but Tony Pulis won't want to see that, you know. Unforced errors from Pennant in the middle of midfield. Good burst, and he's just eased off it by Shawcross in the end.
Etherington, Walters.
I'll tell you who's having it easier though, Thomas Sorensen. It's been pretty quiet for him.
Hope he paid for his ticket. Here's Etherington. Behind off Lee for a Stoke corner. They may not have finished yet.
But look what Lee's having to do. Look how deep Lee is, because he's been pushed back trying to help out and chase back with Etherington.
Skipper Shawcross amongst those making themselves target. In by Etherington. Good header out by Kevin Davis. Lifted back in by Wilkinson. Walters. Kenwyne Jones!
Well, probably what's helped Jääskeläinen's cause here is that Jones is having to come away from goal, so you're never going to generate as much power. But again, poor marking to allow Walters to get it in. Good header, but he's well positioned, Jääskeläinen.
Well, Bolton have half an hour to score 3 goals. Robinson's back pass teased Jones. Required Jääskeläinen to be on his mettle, and he's given it away now to Etherington, who can drive at Cahill. Etherington, Walters going in there. Jääskeläinen's lost it, and Jones has been denied by the outrushing Robinson, who started the trouble in the first place and owed his team that tackle.
You're right, I think he knew he had some making up to do then, Paul Robinson. But that's been the problem with Bolton all day. There's no composure. I mean, again, look at that. It's just totally wasteful, careless, hit and hope. I thought he was going to go all the way, Etherington. Look for the little ball to Walters. Jääskeläinen could have done a lot better in holding that.
Elmander. Bolton have to score soon. Davis. Good tackle, Shawcross.
That's really good defending. I think he knew he was going to take a crack from Davis as well. The little nutmegs on the lap. And as he gets it away, yeah, he gets caught in the follow-through.
It simply has to start happening for Bolton. Steinson dashing across his man and steering his header wide.
Yeah, I think it was well wide in the end. He's been challenged. It's not easy. It's not a clean header. It was Jones that got there, and it is well wide.
Etherington just too smart. After drawing a challenge from Lee, it demanded attention from Howard Webb. It was Taylor who was the offender.
Yeah, it was nice feet from Etherington, and Taylor's just caught him in the calf.
Etherington's still off the field. Stoke are going to have to restart without him. Pennant over the dead ball. Out by Zach Knight. Down by Whelan. Walters is onside here! And Jääskeläinen has pulled up a great save. Walters! Jones! Well, it's a fabulous stop in the first instance by Jääskeläinen, and maybe he deserved his lot thereafter.
But you know, for me, Walters just takes way too long, because once he picks this up, get it out of your feet quicker and finish it. But he delays it, allows Jääskeläinen to close it, and once it found its way to Jones' far post, I'm thinking he's going to bury it. Miss kick.
If you're going to have one of those, have it at 3-0 up with 24 minutes to play. Foul by Davis on Pennant, and there is an increasing desperation about Bolton. And an increasing realisation, a dawning on the people of Stoke that their day is coming.
I mean, you turn up on an occasion like this, and I suppose for any manager he's a little bit nervous that it might not go the way he'd like, but I don't think for one moment Owen Coyle would think they'd be in this position. And I just wonder whether he would admit to this possibly been the worst ever display since he's become a Bolton manager.
Very possible.
I think it's up there, Peter.
Walters. Walters! Oh, wonderful goal! If you want to win a game at Wembley, win it just like that! It's a rout! John Walters, there is no stopping Stoke now.
What I love about this guy is that he's full of enthusiasm and he never stops trying. He gives it everything he's got. And I just think he shook off Lee way too easily. Look at the space he managed to find for himself. And again, Jääskeläinen, you just wonder whether he could have been a little bit quicker, a little bit sharper in trying to react to it. But I take nothing away from the finish. No, in fact, I'm a bit hard on the goalkeeper then. That's a superb finish. He's just got enough curl on it, hasn't he, to just ease inside that post. Wonderful.
There's that Knight, and well saved by Sorensen when finally called upon by Taylor.
Well, I fancied him once it broke kindly for him. Matty Taylor here was perfect on that left foot as well from the hit it first time. Keeper, very good save near post.
Taylor again, linked out by Jones. And as great as it was for Manchester City yesterday, there is something special about a one-club town in the provinces when its people get their day out, and it turns out like this. Etherington. Oh, he bypassed Knight, but Jones didn't get there. Robinson got it away.
That was too good from Matthew Etherington.
Forward by Wilkinson. And Jones, Wilkinson, Walters! 5! Extraordinary. Who saw that coming? Trotters 0, Potters 5 in the Cup semi-final.
What was it I said at the start? Highly competitive, hard fought. Oh, I'm going to have to think again about that one because I couldn't have been more wrong. I'm stunned as well. I mean, I thought Wilkinson was going to get a goal then, but, you know, it's worked out beautifully. It's come off his left foot and gone straight to Walters, and he even had time to control it and just flick it past a despairing Jääskeläinen, and this is just incredible stuff. It's been so one-sided, it's untrue.
One of the great Wembley thumpings. Well, Bolton won't be coming back, but their supporters will get the best seats on the train north. Bolton lamely attacking a now barely populated end, which was an hour ago filled with their own. Davis, Taylor. Well, there's a summary of the afternoon for you. Yeah. And what a shame that they couldn't honour Nat Lofthouse in the way they would have wanted.
Yeah, and Owen Coyle certainly wanted it too, but wasn't to be. This just finished it all off. The little nick just to take it away from Jääskeläinen. He's had a great day too, Walters. Well, the whistle hasn't gone, not quite yet, but I mean, for Tony Pulis and Stoke City, this has been their dream game.
It almost never goes this well for any club at any time. Stoke rehearsed their lines and got them right from moment one. And poor old Bolton just haven't played the way Bolton do. Pugh. Stoke in the cup final for the very first time. 148 years of Potter's history have all led up to this moment for Tony Pulis and his boys. A grand old club, a grand old town, the friends and neighbours of the FA Cup's own Stanley Matthews, and now at last brand new FA Cup finalists. Bolton's tribute to their great late Nat Lofthouse will have to come another day, because this is assuredly Stoke's day by a thumping margin, begun by Etherington, Huth, Jones and Walters twice, 5 terrific goals. Once in a blue moon, Delilah. It's Manchester City versus Stoke City in the FA Cup final of 2011.